pleasant morning to each and every one of us. Now we're going to discuss the undercarriage and configurations. We're Group 9 and we're going to discuss the configurations, fun facts, and conclusions regarding an undercarriage. So, what do you see in the picture? I, for one, see the tire, the strut, and I call this an undercarriage. So, let us define what is an undercarriage. The undercarriage of an airplane is the part including the wheels which supports the airplane when it is on the ground and when it is landing or taking off. So the first figure shows a helicopter with a skid landing gear. The second figure shows a jet with the undercarriage as the landing gear. And the third one is a turboprop with the floats as landing gear, which is used to landing in water. So landing gears. Landing gears are designed to support the aircraft while grounded to withstand the high loads during landing without any damage to its structures, and also to provide comfort for the passengers so that it will provide smooth landing for the passengers. The landing gear includes all the rolling components, struts, and activating mechanisms. The landing gear weight may be estimated as a function of gross weight alone, but the relationship is not linear. So this is a multi-bogie landing gear. So, functions of the landing gear. The main functions of the landing gear include enable the aircraft for a taxi, landing, and takeoff. The next is to support the aircraft in the rest of the ground operations. This includes the getting of passengers in the tarmac and also moving out the baggages, and to be able to taxi on the ground. So that's all, and let's move on to the next part.
So, landing gear can be classified on the basis of retraction nature. There are two. First is the fixed landing gear. That is the landing gear that hangs underneath the aircraft during flight. So fixed, it's already put in the aircraft right here. Meanwhile, the retractable landing gear, that is the landing gear stored inside the aircraft while in flight. So retractable type landing gear, it can be put back in or put back out. Here's the example. Next, in moderation, there used to be two sections of landing gear. The main landing gear and the second landing gear. Configurations. Simple aircraft that fly at low speeds generally have fixed landing gear. On very light, slow aircraft, that extra weight that accompanies retractable landing gear is more of a detriment than the drag caused by the fixed gear. Here's the simple aircraft. So it's more recommended that you should have a retractable because it's more versatile. It's retractable. You can put back in. Unlike fixed, you cannot take it out. Here are the importance of and the uses of landing gear. Landing gear must be strong enough to withstand the forces of landing when the aircraft is fully loaded. A large amount of drag accompanies this type of gear, but an aircraft that can land and take off on water can be very useful in certain environments. Even in skis can be found under some aircraft for operation on snow and ice.
Tricycle gear configuration. Tricycle gear is the most prevalent landing gear configuration in aviation. Light aircraft use tricycle gear as well as heavy aircraft. Larger aircraft often have a nose wheel steering wheel located off to the side of the cockpit. Now there are three advantages of a tricycle gear. One is it allows more forceful application of the brakes without nosing over, which enables for higher landing speeds. Number two is it better visibility from the flight deck for ground operations and landing and takeoffs. Number three is it prevents ground looping. Now these are the other types of a landing gear. Ski. Ski is a landing gear designed to accommodate operations on snow and ice. Skid is a landing gear that consists of a set of beams supporting the aircraft on the ground. Skids are usually found on helicopters. Human legs, mainly used for light aircraft, like Archaeopteryx gliders. Now this is an illustration of the parts of a landing gear. Now we will only be discussing the major components and its uses. Most landing gears have wheels to facilitate operation to and from hard surfaces, such as airport runways. Main wheels have hydraulic actuated single disc brakes, toe brake pedals, and the rudder operate the brakes. Two hydraulic actuators drive each main gear strut. The interlock actuator fixes the extended main gear for landing and ground operations, while the retracting main wheel is turned by the torque link.
Tailwheel gear configuration. Tailwheel gear dominated early aviation and therefore has become known as conventional gear. Other conventional gear have no tailwheel at all, using just a steel skid plate under the aft fuselage. Instead, the small tailwheel or skid plate allows the fuselage to incline. A ground loop is when the tail of the aircraft swings around and comes forward of the nose of the aircraft. The reason this happens is due to the two main wheels being forward and the aircraft's center of gravity. If the aircraft swerves upon landing, the tail wheel can swing out to the side of the intended path of travel. Once the center of gravity is no longer trailing the mains, the tail of the aircraft freely pivots around the main wheels, causing the ground loop. Conventional gear is useful and is still found on certain models of aircraft manufactured today, particularly aerobatic aircraft, prop dusters, and aircraft designed for unpaved runway use. Amphibious aircraft are aircraft that can land either on land or on water.
Here are some fun facts about undercarriage structure. First fun fact is that landing gears requires the undercarriage to support the weight of the plane on the ground. It is like a bird having its leg to support its body. Siyempre, katulad ng mga ibon, ang eroplano. Na kung ang ibon is mayroon silang paa, ang eroplano naman is mayroon siyang landing gear para mag-support siya sa ground. Siyempre, pag ang ibon nasa lupa is parang tutakbo siya at parang lilipad. Ganon din ang mga eroplano. They use landing gears to support para makalipad sila at makalanding ng safe sa lupa. The second fun fact is that planes have all sorts of landing gears. The Wright brothers made the first plane with the wooden skid to land on the sand. So, ang Wright brothers daw, ang kauna-unahang gumawa ng plane na ang landing gears niya ay gawa sa kahoy. Ito ang itsura niya. And now, usually wheels are used to land on the runways. But there are cool planes which have the floats on the bottom of the wings to land on the water. So dati, ang landing gears lang ay para lang sa lupa. Pero ngayon, through generation, dahil din sa technology, ay may mga airplanes din na pwede na siyang mag-land sa water. Tulad ng mga ganito. Yan. The third fun fact is that when you think of a landing gear for a plane, you probably think of a small wheel. But there is a wide variety. So noon, alam nyo ba na ang American Air Force noong 1950 ay nag-eksperimento, bakit hindi na lang natin gawing ang isang landing gear ng isang aeroplano is ang top wheel? At ito ang naging itsura. Paano kung natuloy-tuloy yan? Siguro sobrang cool ng isang aeroplano. For our last part, here is the conclusion. Therefore, landing gears provide the airplane with the ability to maneuver in the ground. There are different configurations for each type of aircraft. This should be maintained with utmost importance to prevent hazardous disaster. May iba't ibang type ng aircraft at bawat type nito ay may iba't ibang configuration. Dapat itong ma-maintain para maiwasan ng disgrasya or trahedya katulad ng mga ito. At para masigurado rin ang safety ng mga pasahero at ng piloto.